All right, good afternoon. My name is Dr. Jasmine D. Crenshaw, and I am the founder and president of Mind Over Matter Consulting Group, LLC, based out of Richmond, Virginia. And I am so thrilled and honored to be a part of the 2019 STEM Success Summit. I want to thank all of the organizers, all the hosts, members who were a part of bringing together this experience. And so thank you so much for thinking and considering me. And I'm so excited. We have a lot of content on today to discuss. And so I want to jump right on into the presentation. And so I'm going to share my screen and get started. All right. Once again, good afternoon. And today's session is going to be entitled Nourish to Flourish, Say Yes to You. And once again, my name is Dr. Jasmine D. Crenshaw, founder and president of Mind Over Matter Consulting Group, LLC. Here is an agenda for today's session. We're going to start with the intro, objectives, and outcomes. We're going to learn about nourishing through self-care, followed by strategies to flourish. And then there will be time for you to develop a personal action plan in a Q&A session. So to start things off, I am a wife and mother. I'm also an engineer. My background is in material science and engineering, and I did my graduate studies at the University of Florida, Go Gators. And I'm also a STEMinist, a proud STEMinist. I'm also an author of the book STEM Navigators, Pathway to Achievement in Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. And this book is a collection of real life stories where I document my journey to receiving my technical degrees. This book presents intervention strategies, resources, and personal advice. And it was released on Pi Day back in 2015, and it is available for purchase on these three platforms, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and Walmart. But today I'm here representing Mind Over Matter Consulting, and our mission, our purpose is to develop talent for the technical workforce. Before we start, I do like to front load expectations and set ground rules about how things are going to happen this afternoon. So before we start, I want you to understand and to know that this is a safe space. Your comments, your perspectives, your views, they're valued here and they're welcome. I also want you to make this session an investment. So if there are any opportunities for distractions, limit them, remove them if possible, so that you can be fully present for today's session and to receive all that is here. There are going to be opportunities for you to interject and to offer your feedback and suggestions. And so let's do the work together and let's make this investment. I also want you to share your thoughts, your opinions, your perspectives. I have two hashtags here, hashtag MOMCG, as well as Dr. Crenshaw Speaks. If there's something on today that moves you or resonates with you, reach out. I do have my team that will be available throughout today's session. So let's talk, let's chat, speak. Let me know. I definitely want to hear from you. I do have a disclaimer though. You will likely be stimulated with questions and discussions and activities that will extend far beyond this session. It's okay. There are ways in which we can remain engaged. And so I want to put that disclaimer out here. So the objectives for the talk on today is to understand the significance of self-care, assess your current status and personal needs, identify resources that are going to fuel and enhance your productivity, as well as cultivating a network based upon support, accountability, and efficiency. The outcomes from today's session is going to be about creating a mind shift, recognizing items that you need to possess, seize, and change within yourself, initiating an action plan, as well as identifying members of your support network. Know that iron sharpens iron. So this topic, Nourish to Flourish, say yes to you. Why does this matter? Well, the United States is definitely facing some challenges at the moment. One of those challenges has to do with obesity. According to the CDC, I am displaying 2013 through 2014 survey data where it is showing the prevalence of obesity. And I'm basing this right here, this data, around just different demographic groups based upon race. All of this information is based upon adults ages 20 and up along their body mass index, the BMI. There's some things I just want to point out and to highlight. Right now, it's facts and figures. When we look at people of color in particular, these data points are a bit alarming. You know, amongst all adults, 37.7 of adults in the US are obese. Not overweight, obese, or extremely obese. And looking at the African American population and the Hispanic population, African Americans, it's nearly 50%. There's some work to be done. And it's more than just the physical. When we start looking into mental health, there's some area of growth. Right here, this is just a pie graph here where there's a breakdown amongst race again. Members on an annual basis that are dealing with mental health challenges. Once again, when you look at the people of color, the percentages are a bit alarming. But when we look beyond the demographics here and of race and looking at sexual orientation, members of the LGBTQ plus community, 37.4% are facing mental illness challenges. This data came from the 2018 survey from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. And the mental health illness are coming from various conditions. The highest percentage, there's a lot of people dealing with anxiety. But in addition to that, bipolar, schizophrenia, major depressive episodes, post-traumatic stress, obsessive compulsive disorder, and borderline personality. There's a lot of people facing things. And we don't want anyone to suffer in silence. This topic in particular resonates and hits home for me. This is my graduation photo from the University of Florida. And I'll never forget this day in life on April the 29th, 2011, where I marched across that stage to get hooded, to get my 3 stripes, and, you know, to officially and finally become a doctor. I had a job already lined up, and I thought that, yes, I can finally start living life. you know, I can only go up from here. And 72 hours later, 3 days, I was in the hospital. And this was out of just really physical burnout, but it also extended mental. I was just exhausted. I entered into the hospital with extremely high blood pressures that was near stroke level. I had body tremors. My health was at stake. I did not know then, but I discovered a few months later from like all of these tests, and you know, the doctors are trying to stabilize me because things were not good. I ended up having a thyroid condition, but I didn't just get there overnight. For years, I had been operating and working in high stress environments, physical activity, little to none. Consuming unhealthy foods, fried foods, high consumptions of caffeine, sugar, you name it, I probably had it. My body was going through some things. And because I did not put myself as a priority and to take care of myself, I ended up at a young age dealing with some major health conditions beyond my thyroid. And even though I had achieved a high level, because I did not take care of myself, it did not mean a thing. So when the invitation came for today's session, I wanted to spend time talking about the importance of nourish to flourish and really saying yes to you. So up until now, I have been utilizing this term self-care. And I want to give a formal definition and so really explain what this is. It's more than a buzzword. This is a practice where you are taking an active role in protecting your own well-being and happiness, especially during times of stress. I want to say that again because I want some things to sink in. This is a practice where you're taking an active role in your own well-being and happiness. Self-care looks like a lot of things. Self-care represents getting plenty of sleep, cleaning up, getting a hug. I am a hugger. I love really good, long, strong hugs. It's something about that energy, positive energy being transferred and knowing that you're safe and that you're loved. Self-care looks like reading and reading about people who may have more complicated lives than you, cooking, writing, drawing, just expressing yourself out loud. Walking outside, biking, talking to yourself, but also talking to selective people. And I want to emphasize that and just spend a little bit of time, because you can't be all things to all people. And you have to watch the company that you keep. You can't be vulnerable and give your whole self to people because everyone does not have the same intentions as you. But when you can identify and find people who really care about you, who want to see the best in you, they're willing to pour into you, they're willing to invest in you, and you're willing to do the same, those are the people that you want in your inner circle. That's self-care. Enjoying the sunshine and just enjoying life. That's self-care. Self-care is not a sign of weakness by any means. It's not something to keep quiet about. It also is not the same for everybody. And it's okay for it to look different. Self-care is not just confined or limited to emotions. It comes in other forms and other ways. It's expressed differently. And it's not for some people, it's for all people. Time, space, energy, and resources are necessary for you to value yourself. So I love this term, nourish to flourish. And we want you to nourish yourself through self-care. And so I love this quote by Michael Hyatt, who's an author and speaker. Self-neglect causes crises that cripple careers. When you don't nourish yourself through self-care, it's going to cause some issues. Self-care is a driving force that empowers, that produces, that motivates, that encourages innovation. And with innovation, that can be expressed in many different facets and forms. But innovation is tied to your identity. And when you do not take care of yourself, you are limiting things. So with innovation, please know it represents your identity, and your identity is composed of your lived experiences, your ethnicity, your race, your age, your religion, your perspective, your culture, your way of thought. These are things that are who you are. And so it's so important that you show up and that you revive and restore and empower yourself. Because when you don't get enough sleep, when you're not eating healthy, when you're not taking out the time to invest in yourself through exercise, you are limiting your capacity. You are limiting especially when you go into the workforce and starting your careers, you are limiting the solutions and the creativity, the perspective that's going to create and drive innovation. It's so important that you become and bring your whole self, because there are people who are in need of your expertise. There are people who are waiting on your discoveries. They're depending upon your discoveries. They're depending upon your contribution. And in nourishing yourself, you're able to drive innovation. So I want to share with you some ways in which I nourish. These mechanisms, please remember, are not for everybody, but they're for myself, Dr. Crenshaw. This is what I do. On Tuesdays and Thursdays in Richmond, Virginia, you will see me having fun, letting loose. It's something about movement. It's something about music. You will see me at the trap cardio sessions, having a ball with my girl, AD Red. And I tell you, for the past few months, I just learned about it through a near and dear friend who invited me, and I have not been the same. It gives me what I need. As the young people would say, it gives me life. And we have a fun time, and I leave restored and renewed and revived. There are times where I just need to get fresh air. So this is a picture of my backyard. I will go out on the deck. I just need to clear my mind, clear space, and just relax. My husband, Anthony Crenshaw, and I love each year, at least once a year, going to Hilton Head, South Carolina, where we are just near the water. It's something about the cool, calm environment that just centers us and just gives us peace, and we're able to unwind. I am a proud alumni of a historically Black college and university that is North Carolina A&C State University, Aggie Pride. And each year we have our homecoming, and our homecoming has the acronym GHOE, GHO, which stands for the greatest homecoming on earth. And I tell you, it's a mixture of a revival of a family reunion, love for our institution. And I tell you, I come to GHO, I come back for homecoming, I see family, I see friends, and it's nothing but love. Last but definitely not least, I tell you something about that music, that movement. So when there's some music, you will see me flowing, and I love line dancing. And yes, that is me. It's something about it. You see me getting down, laughing. This is what renews and revives me. And so it's important that you take a minute and that you stop and that you have a self-care checklist for what revives you. At the end of the day, I want you to understand and to know that you are enough. So I have a weekly self-care checklist. And this is going to be a gift from Mind Over Matter Consulting to you, where I want you to come up with a target for each week. Write it down. But in addition to that target, reflect and also put into action ways in which you can invest in yourself Monday through Sunday. Make it happen. Please know this self-care checklist will be available for download. Please utilize it. And begin looking and evaluating and assessing, how can I incorporate these strategies of just finding quiet time, making sure that you get enough sleep, spending out time outdoors, listening to music, talking to a loved one, a family, a friend, moving your body, getting the exercise and eating and fueling and nourishing your temple is so needed. So utilize this self-care checklist. It is available free of charge for download. So the second half of this session, I want to talk and focus this around strategies to flourish. Strategy number one, avoid doing too much. Please look out for signs of burnout. Some common attributes of burning out deals with exhaustion, just feeling tired, fatigue, like literally not wanting to move. Please know, like, that is not okay. That's not normal. Depersonalization, where you are taking on this indifferent or this cynical attitude. When you feel like you're inefficient, having trouble sleeping, and having strong emotional reactions over an extended period of time. Burnout also looks like just disengaging and detaching from important tasks that you're known to do. Having trouble being present in places and in spaces, feeling overwhelmed, disappointed, and reluctant to seek help from colleagues and friends. The second strategy involves avoiding perfectionism. Tim Ferriss says this quote that I like: what you do is more important than how you do it. And doing something well does not. The takeaway that I want you to leave and to know and to understand: done is better than perfect. Therefore, whatever the task, whatever the assignment, whatever your role is, get it done. The next strategy that I want to leave you with is avoid isolation. Please know that you are not alone. Life is purposely designed for interactions. You are not here on this earth for X number of years to operate in isolation. From birth to the present, it involved people. You need to lean in and on people, and people need to lean in on you. There are members that want to see you succeed and they want to see you win. And that's why it is vital in your professional aspirations and goals and motivations to utilize a network. It is so not just about what you know, but who you know. And by being in the right circle, by being in the right places and spaces and connected intentionally with people, they can unlock doors of opportunities that you did not even know exist. And whenever you are in doubt, uncertain, unsure about things, and even including yourself, get help. Because there are people who are willing to make the time for you. The next strategy to flourish is avoiding negative self-talk. I really love this image here. There have been times in life where I've dealt with this, and these words and phrases and emotions, they were there. Please know that with this negative self-talk, these inner conversations that you're having with yourselves, they have an impact on you, and that they limit and confine you from reaching your full potential, your creativity, and it limits the innovation that you're able to do. So catch your critic. Get your own self in line. When things come to your mind or even to your mouth, stopping literally in the track and just know and understand, hey, I do not have time for this. I'm better than this. Immediately redirect your thoughts. Start saying the opposite. I can. I'm going to win. I am the best. I can do anything. I am popular. You know, I am that person. I can make it. Replace the bad with good. You are valuable. You are worth it. You are enough. And please know, when it comes to your thoughts, your feelings, and even your emotions, they're not the full reality. People see different perspectives, different views, different outcomes. And sometimes we can be our own worst critic and just really limit and confine and restrict ourselves. That's not who we are. So with Mind Over Matter in particular, we are known for driving plans. You know, through life, we always hear lectures, talks, seminars, and even workshops where there's, you know, a lot of content that is presented, or a lot of theory, in a sense, that's being presented, and it's great. However, you can have all this knowledge and content, but if you do not put it into action through a plan, it means nothing. So I want to spend some time this afternoon, because you've heard me now for 20-something minutes talk about Nourish to Flourish, saying yes to you, talking about self-care, why it's important, presenting you with strategies to flourish, and just some mechanisms and some examples. But now I want you to take out some time to think about, what is my plan? And so take some time to just self-reflect and to think about, what are my strengths? What am I good at? What am I known for? What can I do that is like easily done, like in my sleep, in a sense? Write them down. It doesn't have to be in a big fancy journal. It can be just like in this image here on the back of an index card, but write it down. Then take out some time to think about, what are some things that I need to grow in? What are some areas? Is it changing the way I deliver information so that it's more receptive to people? Is it changing my attitude or the words that I use and say? Is it, okay, I need to make sure that I'm fueling my body, I'm fueling my mind, I'm fueling things. Is it being more positive and not being a negative Nancy? Write those things down as well. Write them down. But this is where the fun comes in, because now it is about accountability and taking the things that you do well and those things that are areas of growth and now applying a timestamp to it. And in order to create and to develop habits, it's going to be essential that you look and make some evaluations over the next 30, 60, and 90 days to come up with a plan. I need to complete item X in 30 days. And by 60 days, I need to complete the next task, and then the next. This is going to allow you to start tracking your accomplishments, and that in due time, you will reach your milestone. So please go online, use the 2 hashtags that are provided here, and share with me one of your action plans, because this is where lasting change comes in. So we've had a great and amazing time this afternoon around Nourish to Flourish, saying yes to you. I want you to share your thoughts about this session, what you learned, what truly resonated with you. And so I provided you with this link, bit.ly/MOMCG seminar. Reach out and connect with me and let me know your thoughts about today and what we discussed. There are also people who may discover, you know, Dr. Crenshaw, I need some help here. Like, I've been doing this, living life on my own, in isolation, limiting myself, and I need an accountability partner. I had to come to those terms. That was me. And it was through a mentor. It was through a coach that I was able to talk through some challenges and also get equipped with resources that really changed my productivity, not only mentally, not only physically, but even in my professional workforce. I was able to make an investment and to get the things that I need. And once those needs were met, my career, my productivity soared. This is going to be essential, especially in STEM and technical disciplines. So I want you to know and to understand, I am happy to be a part of your team. So if you feel that you need more one-on-one individual contact, send me an email to jasmine@momcg.com. I would love to have a conversation and to discuss next steps. So please know there's going to be time for Q&A. I definitely want to have some conversations and to get your perspectives and views on things. But I definitely want us to remain connected through this experience. So please bring me to your university, your company, your conference, your next event. I would love to be there and to talk about issues such as this as well as others. Here are the 3 platforms that you will find me on at MOMCG Consulting. Let's connect and chat. I also have another gift that I want to present and to give out to all attendees of this virtual summit. Please visit our website at www.momcg.com. I want you to download a free mind map so that you're clear about the goals that you're going to set forth, in addition to the self-care checklist. This is every gift that I want to give and to invest in you. So please know it has been a true honor, a true pleasure. And at this time, we are going to open things up for Q&A because I definitely want to hear from you. And so I am going to stop sharing my screen and to turn things over and to hear from you. All right. Once again, thank you. And let's keep the conversations coming forward.